If you travel in business class from coast to coast in the USA, there's a good chance you'll be taking a major airline's flagship product. On the most competitive routes, the big airlines put their best foot forward. Their best cabins, best seats, better food than on other domestic routes, and often they use their best planes. Each airline defines which of their routes attract this premium, but one they all agree on are that flights linking New York to San Francisco and also New York to Los Angeles are definitely premium routes. I've travelled the Transcontinental routes many times before, and let's rewind. Who can forget the first time I tried United Airlines premium service?
Not feeling terribly loved up with United so far.
However, the pillow was dirty, I assume from a previous passenger, and found the toilet in a completely unacceptable and broken state, steak and chimichurri sauce, and it was absolutely terrible. It was like shoe leather. A few years on, United is a different animal, and today I'm lucky to take a beautiful Polaris business class equipped 777-200 all the way from Los Angeles to New York. Come with me and we'll check it out. Today's video sponsor is Paysend. United operates from Terminal 7 here at LAX. It's a small terminal with only 20 gates, and although I've arrived here many times, this is actually the first time I'm departing LAX with United. United Premium Business Class customers can use Premier Access check-in, which will save a bit of time if you're checking bags. I'm a keen flyer and I always turn up to the airport early, but as it turns out, 5:05 in the morning really is too early to get into the lounge. Thankfully, the terminal's pretty empty and there's loads of decent places to sit and charge your devices. Okay, so it is about 14 minutes past 5 in the morning, and I'm definitely feeling like it's 14 minutes past 5. I had a 3:30 a.m. alarm call this morning. I've got myself an emergency coffee because the lounge isn't open yet. And let me just tell you, I'm actually not going to Newark today. It's not my final destination. I'm connecting through Newark onto Washington Dulles. And for reasons that are too complicated to explain, I had to book both of those tickets separately. Now, even though those are on separate tickets, the agent at check-in was able to link those two bookings together and send my bag all the way through to Washington Dulles. So even though I've got a 3-hour connection at Newark, there's no need for me to leave the terminal, pick up my bag and recheck it again. They managed to link those two bookings together, seamless. Now let's hope the flight is as no nonsense as that. Hey there, good morning. Oh, thank you, thanks. The machine had to have a think about whether I was allowed in there. Yes. This was my first time using this particular United club, and for a regular airline lounge, this is pretty nice and surprisingly big for such a small terminal too. United used to be a pretty shabby airline, but the refurbishment of their United clubs makes a real big difference. There's plenty to eat on the buffet, although a proper breakfast will be served on board our 7 a.m. departure, so it's best not to fill up too much. The best feature of this lounge is almost certainly the outside terrace. Even with the fog this morning, which is typical for LAX, the views of the aircraft getting ready for a long day flying are worthwhile. And it never matters where I'm flying to. Even though I'm booked on the nicest seat leaving this terminal this morning, I still wonder where all these planes are off to, and if they're places I don't know, I wonder what those places are like. We'll be leaving the lovely gold bar and the views of our aircraft behind for now, as it's time to go to the gate. We're on time and looking good for our 7 a.m. pushback.
Today's video sponsor is Paysend, an international payments app. If you've ever needed to send money overseas, you'll know how frustrating, time-consuming, and plain complicated it can all be. Well, Paysend changes all of that. Paysend will give you money transfers that are fast, affordable, and, most importantly, easy to use. It's so transparent and so simple. The app offers bank-level security and operates to over 100 countries. I had to send money to South Africa recently, and here's how I did it.
Next year, I'm due to visit South Africa, where I'll be taking a brand new airline. Big problem though, that brand new airline does not accept bank cards from outside of South Africa. And that's where Paysend comes in. I've got family in South Africa, and if they buy the ticket for me and I reimburse them, that's the problem solved, right? It's a good job Paysend is easy to use. So I've downloaded and opened up my Paysend app and verified my email, and now I'm going to select South Africa as the country I'm sending money to. Type in the recipient's bank account details and a few more details about themselves, such as their telephone number and or their address, and that's pretty much it. The app tells me up front that if I want to send 1,540 Rand, exactly how much it'll cost me and what the exchange rate is. And I just press send. There are various ways that I can remit the money to the app, but today I'm going to be choosing Apple Pay.
If all of that isn't good enough to make you consider using Paysend, then how about this? Using the code WINGINITFREE will get you your first 3 transactions fee-free and an improved foreign exchange rate across the rest of this year. Thank you. Okay, here we go across to Newark, New Jersey on United Premium Service on the 777. Should be a good one. Hey, good morning. Thank you.
Business class is split over 2 cabins on the 777-200. If you turn left, the forward cabin has 32 Polaris seats in a 1-to-1 configuration. Odd-numbered window seats are the ones truly by the window, even-numbered ones face away slightly. We'll turn right today and head to the smaller rear cabin, which has 18 seats. I am in window seat 9A today. Waiting at my seat are a blanket and 2 pillows. That blue pillow, by the way, is a special cooling one and absolutely amazing to sleep on if you tend to get warm on planes. I prefer to sit in smaller mini cabins like this, but bear in mind you'll have a lot of people file past during boarding. Doesn't bother me, but it might bother you. These window sills on the Polaris seats are a bit of a dust trap, but I'm pleased to say it was mostly clean. Well, cleaner than the weather we'd be taking off into anyway. Let's head to the East Coast. It's 7 o'clock. Time to fly. There's a saying, it's always a nice day above the clouds, and wow, is that true today. The marine layer is only a few hundred feet off the ground, and climbing out of it left us with some amazing sunrise views, as well as the opportunity to spot some early morning arrivals into Los Angeles. Wi-Fi. United has pretty solid connectivity, and a full flight of Wi-Fi for $27.99 isn't too bad a price for 5 hours in my opinion. Of course, lots of you expect it for free, and maybe one day it'll be more than just JetBlue in the USA that offers free Wi-Fi on board. Don't forget that you too can be part of the conversation and join in my journeys in real time. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at the handle Paul_wingingit. Today's flight sees us complete the 2,449 miles to Newark Airport in 4 hours and 39 minutes. I have flown across the USA many times, and never have I had about 1,500 miles of totally clear weather all the way across the West, over the Rockies and through the Midwest. Cloudless, in fact, all the way to Chicago. These are the most spectacular views I've ever seen flying in the continental US. Service today opens with coffee and juice, and an opportunity to check out the seat. This is actually my favourite seat you can find on American domestic flights. The table features a little device holder for phones and tablets, and handily it slides away nicely to let you get out if there are still things on it. The seat has good storage too. You can put all sorts of junk in this little cubby, and of course there is USB and universal power. The 16-inch low-glare HD screen provides almost as good a watch as the unfolding American continent below. Of course, there's a small paperwork holder, as well as clever seat controls that won't get in the way of your elbows. Finally, a couple of things only available at bulkhead seats. This larger footrest, and the solid surface above the TV screen is a handy shelf. 9A is a very private seat too. There's no seat neighbour, only a little used closet instead. All round, a very good seat with almost no downsides, and some great finishes too. Breakfast arrives as we pass over Nevada. There were no printed menus, some sort of COVID cutback, but one which has also just been reversed on these transcontinental routes. Alright, so let's see what French toast is like on a plane. Never tried this before, not even on the ground, so we'll see if I like it or not. The food was pretty good. French toast is okay by me, and I'm not going to go hungry today, which is sort of the main objective. Flying is magic, but you do get a new perspective on it when you travel this sort of trip on the ground by train. We're passing over the route of the California Zephyr here, and my video of my epic 3-day, 2-night, 2,438 mile trip on it just a few days after this flight will go up on this channel as a Boxing Day special. Yeah, it's not hard to feel after that sort of trip that flying over the Rockies is kind of cheating. United also provides an amenity kit on this route too. It's quite small, but this is a short daytime flight and you don't need much in the way of amenities, to be honest. The best way to spend a flight like this is kicking back and watching something on the entertainment system, which is packed full of content. Although it does make me chuckle that these brand new seats have what seems to be a 20-year-old remote control built into them. As usual, forget about the rather weak airline supplied headphones and bring your own instead. The seat reclines into a fully flat bed, but today I'll just be reclining and chilling for the couple of remaining hours to Newark. There's also a second small meal served. This is just a couple of hours after you've had your breakfast cleared, so there's not much point to a fuller meal, but it will be enough to tide you over if you're not going to eat when you land. So that's United Business Class on the Transcontinental service. I paid $539 one way for this trip, which is basically the lowest fare that United offer. Many of the Transcontinental trips are operated by 777 and 787 aircraft with these fabulous Polaris seats. If you can score one of these and not one of the more elderly 757s, this is absolutely great value, and to be honest, United has gone from my least favourite to my most favourite of the big three carriers if I need to book a Transcon flight. Remember to download Paysend and use the code WINGINITFREE and you'll get your first 3 transactions fee-free, as well as improved foreign exchange rates for the rest of the year. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.